What's up, guys? So welcome to Storytime Sunday. Since my son's birthday is coming up this week, I wanted to share his birth story. So here we go. Okay, so this is the birth story of Eli, is my second born. And so we were living in the States, and I did have a midwife. We were planning, keyword planning, to have him born at the same birthing center that my first son was born in DC. So I was working. I went on maternity leave, I think a week before I was due. I had Josiah 6 days early, so I was expecting, you know, okay, probably kind of around the same time. You know, I really wouldn't go overdue or anything like that. So I just went ahead and took an extra week. And I just remember, like, I would go outside and I would walk. We had this track near our house, and so I would walk around the track with my red raspberry leaf tea a couple of times every day, trying to get this baby to come out. I started getting nervous around like the day before his due date. He was due March 27th. So I remember it was March 27th, and I was like, man, he's not gonna come today. So I'm gonna go overdue. And so I was like, whatever, I'll just, you know, deal with it, just hoping that he came soon. You know, at that point, when you're pregnant, when you're that pregnant, you just feel like you're ready to have the baby. So anyway, later that afternoon, I started just feeling just not good, just kind of crampy and all that stuff. And I knew, like, okay, this is early labor. Yeah, so this was probably around like 7 or 8 o'clock. I called my midwife and I said, you know, hey, I think I'm in early labor. She said, okay, well, go ahead and, you know, lay down. You know the drill. Lay down, get some rest, as much rest as you can, and call me back in a couple of hours and let me know how things are going. And so I said, okay, you know, no problem. We were putting Josiah to bed anyway, and my husband is like, I'm going to bed early just because of what happened last time. So he went ahead, he went to sleep. And so I laid down, I took my little nap and everything. I was feeling good. Around 10 o'clock, you know, I got up to call the midwife back and everything. And my contractions were about 15 minutes apart. They were still manageable, you know, wasn't really having any issues. So when I talked to my midwife on the phone, she's like, you know, do you want to come in? And I said, well, no, you're just gonna send me home anyway. Like, they need to be 5 to 6 minutes apart before, you know, I'm even seen. So she's like, okay, well, you know, call me if you have any problems, or, you know, if you need anything, you know, go back to sleep. If the contractions are strong enough, they're gonna wake you up. So I was like, okay, fine. So so I went ahead, I went back to bed. And so I just remember, like, I don't know what time it was, but I just remember I woke up and I was like, oh, that was a strong contraction. And then I went back to sleep. And about 15 minutes later, the same thing. I woke up and I was like, oh, that was a really strong contraction. And I went back to sleep. I don't know what I was thinking. And so then the third time, I actually, like, reached over and grabbed my husband's hand. I was like, oh, that was a really strong contraction. And so I was just like, I want to get in the shower. And so Rodney's like, why do you want to get in the shower? I'm like, I don't know, I just want to get in the shower. So he's like, I think we should call the midwife. So he helps me up out of the bed and everything, and we walk through the bedroom door, down the hallway, which is probably about, I don't know, maybe 20 feet to the bathroom. And I, like, had another contraction, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, this baby is coming. And then I had another one and another one, and by the time I was able to sit down on the toilet, I had like 4 contractions. So they were like a minute apart by this point. And then I started feeling nauseous. And when I knew that, like, I felt like I had to throw up, I was like, I'm about to have this baby. And so in the midst of everything, you know, my mom, she was sleeping on the couch, and so she, like, heard all the commotion and everything. Like, Rodney's like, okay, what do you want to do? I'm like, right now I just want to sit down. So I ended up sitting on the toilet. Wrong choice, but I ended up sitting on the toilet, and he ran to go start getting dressed because he's like, we gotta get to the birthing center. And so my mom comes down, what's going on, what's going on? And so Rodney's like, you know, she's having really strong contractions. She's like, okay. And we're trying to be quiet because Josiah's room is like right next to the bathroom. So my mom calls 911. And so she's like, the lady on 911 told her, the dispatch lady, like, you know, she needs to get off the toilet because literally I was like, I feel like I have to push. And so she's like, get off the toilet now. So Rodney helps me up. We walk back down the hallway to the room so I could like get dressed. And knowing good and well in the back of my mind, like, I'm not going anywhere. But anyway, so we get like to the threshold of the door, and I'm like, I can feel this baby crowning right now. So like, I just dropped down and Rodney caught me, and I'm like, I'm pushing this baby out. So I just hear like all this stuff going on upstairs. Rodney's there, my mom is running up and down the steps. Oh my God, there's a baby being born in my house. And so Rodney he whips out a towel right there by the door, and I laid down, and then you start like, I just see all these paramedics start flooding down the steps, and I'm just like, you have got to be kidding me. I cannot believe this is happening right now. So, anyway, they get there, it was like 4 of them, and they just were looking at me like I was crazy. And I was just like, why are you staring at me? What are you staring at me for? Like, do something. So my mom is like, have you ever delivered a baby before? And they're like, oh no, ma'am. Oh my God. So I forgot, when I felt his head crowning, I could feel in Rodney's pocket his phone vibrating. So I'm like, okay, that's the midwife, answer it. And so Rodney picks up, the paramedics are coming down and everything. Come to find out, when dispatch called them, they did not know that it was a labor and delivery call. So they had no OB equipment. They had like nothing. I think if I remember correctly, they were told that it was like a heavy person needed to be lifted or something like just really random. That was totally not the case. But anyway, so they ended up having to call the fire department. So my mom is like running around. She's got 911 on speaker. My dad is yelling at the paramedics because they're not moving fast enough. And you know, they're just sauntering up the driveway, as he says. And so Rodney is like on the phone with the midwife. And I'm just, okay, I just need to focus on what my husband is saying right now. And so anyway, so the midwife is on the phone. She's like, you know, has her water broken yet? And Rodney's like, you know, no, I don't think so. And so then there's a paramedic there. The paramedic is like, okay, sir, what do you want me to do? And Rodney's looking at him like, really? Like, I have no idea. So the midwife ended up like walking us through the whole thing. When I pushed like once, his head came through. That's when the amniotic sac broke and everything. And then I pushed maybe like 3 or 4 more times, and he was out. It was crazy how everything happened. He was born at 12:24 a.m. March 28th, so just about 30 minutes shy of my regular due date. Josiah woke up in the process, and he's like screaming his head off because they're like, you know, he didn't know what was happening. He was only 17 months, but when he saw me being taken out on a stretcher, he like completely lost it. So I felt so bad for him. But I got to ride in the ambulance and we went to the hospital and everything, and then they finished up everything there. The only thing that sucked was the fact that they had to wait because they didn't know what they were doing, because the fire department didn't know how to deliver a baby. Like, I had to wait to deliver my placenta, so it had been like an hour, I think, had passed before I was able to deliver. So that was actually extremely painful, and the doctor that I had was just absolutely horrible. Like, she was not sympathetic at all. She was just like, are you done? I wanted to sit up so bad and just be like, are you kidding me? That's only the one time that I really wanted to cuss somebody out. But anyway, all in all, it was just a crazy experience, you know, from start to finish. From active labor, it was probably like an hour and a half. And I never expected to go through labor that quickly. But anyway, if you have a crazy birth story, leave it down in the comment section below. I want to hear about it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.